Something that made damn near half. I think less than half of this. A movie that's been touted as one of the most original features out. Zach, it's original. I don't know if you know this, but originally,
You
it was
mean it's
original.
not based on another property?
And yeah, it is though. Like when you're going around saying that this is what did he call it? He said it's Blade Runner meets Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And I think that is like the cutesy version of like, oh my gosh, I'm really inspired by those movies. I want to make that. I don't hate this movie, but damn, was I disappointed with seeing what could have been, or what I truly believe was some of the most incredible visuals that I have seen in a movie in a long time. Like this stuff looks crispy. The VFX looks like it's lived in. Some of these vistas looked incredible. If you saw a trailer to this and you thought it was fantastic, I'm telling you, it is up there with like District 9 the first time you saw that trailer, going like, whoa, they are working with something different here. Why did it have to be the most bland script out there, Zach?
Yeah, it really lets it down, right? Because it is this like really invigorating movie to look at, and especially in a world where we get so many of these like bloated CGI centric movies where you never really feel like the world is actually lived in, to have something that is so fully realized, where the world is so clear, from the production design elements to the locations they've shot in and everything like that.
Yep.
It really kind of sweeps you up, and I was exhilarated for the first bit of this movie, and then they keep talking and they rely on a lot of like really tired tropes, and we're on like season 3 of The Mandalorian now, and there's a whole bunch of things out there that are basically doing the creator protector thing. It's you can see it coming a mile away, every beat in the story, and I just don't feel like there's any real like. It's weird because there's depth to the world building, but not really depth to the characters, and it's like if you put your equal energy to your characters, this movie would be really, really cool.
Exactly. There is a lot going on in this that you've seen from other movies, and you're like, okay, take a stab at it. Give it a new look. Okay, it's not really us against the AI as it is like they've split the hemispheres in between the West against the East. I got it. You're doing metaphors with New Asia having the most AI kind of, what do they call them, simulants in the movie. They kind of got this whole Prometheus thing going on. Who's their creator? Who's their god? A lot of really cool ingredients. Not blended enough, not really sourced out the way that it could have been. Look, I know you love your boy, dude.
John David?
Go ahead, defend him, because I've said my piece.
I'll say this about him. I think he's really good when he can be wry and funny, like when he's going back and forth with somebody. He's a very good conversationalist. And I think he really pulls off the action hero stuff, right? Like he's a athletic, buff dude, and he's believable in the role of like trained killer or soldier or whatever it is. But this movie really relies on him to do a lot of sentimentality that is the thing that he struggles with. Like there's all these moments where he's mistfully thinking about his wife and staring at a picture, and you just never really like buy him in those moments, and it undercuts the drama of the movie because he can't really sell it. So I don't know, like I still think he's a fun actor. I like him a lot, but I think this is the kind of role that asks him to kind of play outside of his comfort zone in a way that doesn't really work.
They also had him ad-lib a lot, and look, I know y'all like that hot sauce line in Tenet, bro. Y'all did not have strong enough of a script to just let him go off and say some of the stuff. I thought it was very awkward. I felt like he never talked to a child in his life. But again, the world building is fantastic. He talked about shooting this with a new camera, a really tiny one that you could buy at Best Buy. And it's like both the most inspirational thing, but it's also like, ain't nobody buying this camera and getting an inkling of what that is, you know? I had mentioned District 9. That's a movie that as beautiful as it looks, it's not really the budget because he was working on that Halo movie and he got all the Weta and Peter Jackson help. He kind of has that here, you know? When you've worked on Godzilla, when you've worked on Rogue One, you get to get a lot of favors, and you also know the industry, and the way that he filmed it I thought was really cool because he didn't do the VFX first. He went and shot on location and then had them do the VFX afterwards. It's some like really crazy stuff he's been breaking down. So if you are curious to go catch this movie, it's very wide. I don't know if you noticed that. Like it is like
it's a big release.
Squinty as could be, bro. Like he said he matched Hateful Eight. He said he wanted to go wider, but they're like, no, it's like nobody nobody has those screens. So I'd be curious to see if he still has that other wide version that he wanted to do. Other than that, though, look, it's like barely worth that junior price just to go see the visuals and the sound design. It is a really cool world. I just wish I liked my time with the characters more.
Yeah, there's like elements that really stand out here. Like they have those sort of like suicide bomber robots that are utterly
crazy.
Terrifying, and like
he said he had those for Godzilla. And he couldn't fit it in there, so he's like, I'm gonna use them here.
Yeah, I mean,
you
can't let that go. The like heaviness of their thudding too is so terrifying. Yes. I thought John David Washington looked really cool with the blonde ends. The robot design too, like it's cool. There's like lots of memorable aspects to this, but like then it sort of has its weird like techno orientalism, and the story is just sort of lacking. And it's as refreshing as it feels at times, it is also ultimately kind of very much like a lot of other lackluster action blockbusters we've seen.
Avatar should not be more subtle than you.
Yeah.